All right, hello everyone. So let's take a look at today. Now, this is yesterday. Now, yesterday for gold, it was a swing day, and from the lows here, I did go in. I had actually a trade from here to here, and I had one from here, or was it from here to here as well? And then that crashed down. I didn't enter here, but I did get in there. Okay, and that wasn't a bad hour. A little actually above where I would have wanted to get in because the Astro hours were here, so I was following the Astro hours, but it still took us to the target. No big deal. So what to do now? Look, because with gold, I said we're in between zones. This could go down or it could go up. So we're going to be a bit, in between. And this is right on the support. Remember yesterday I had that 2015. That's the weekly level, right? So 2015 yesterday was here. Right, 2015. And this is exactly where the market turned. So I was okay to get in there because it was on the weekly. And Monday was a swing day for gold, right? So getting in just under the weekly or on the weekly level was not such a bad idea. Now on the daily, as you can see, we've got to break it down. So this is a bit tricky because the market can keep pushed down. And if it does, so it's going to be like it's got room to come down. So this 43.45 is 2023.20, which is there 2023, 2020 is there. Okay, as you can see, so the market's already done it, and this is an Astro zone. So I don't know whether to sell it or buy it. So we're going to have to sit tight and wait. Okay, why? Because Monday was the swing day. Okay, it's also possible that this Monday could be a swing day to push further down. So we don't know that yet. Okay, but buying the lows on a weekly support was obviously good as a good intraday trade. Now, the next swing for gold is coming up tomorrow. So if the market keeps coming down, we'll have to go long, or if it keeps going up until Wednesday, we've got to see where we can get up to. All right, so this is how it's going to pan out. So if you want to plan your day, okay, this is what you can do. You can either sell around here, there, or there. That 2023 is that red line there. So on the price, it's 2025. 2023.79. So that's an option there as well. The market can go down. So we can also do this 2025 around here somewhere, right? Which is on the price. So if we do go up, market selling is not a bad idea. Slight gap here, as you can see. And on the 1 hour chart, if you're using ATAM, it's actually good to use your 1 hour chart. I like using the 1 hour chart myself. Okay. If we break out, okay, you need to break out above 2019.87. So just over 2020 if this thing is going to break out. Okay. But this is a good push up and the market is doing an ABC down. So at the Astro hours going up is not a bad idea. Yesterday we did the same, remember, which was here. And the market did go up right at the Astro hours. It hit the first take profit, which was just under the daily pivot there, and then came crashing down and then going back up again here until there was not such a bad idea. Now, if this swing day holds, going up is going to be an option, okay? And if it breaks above this level, then obviously going up is going to be an option, right? So that's just how it is. The other thing you can do is draw your line manually from here to here, from low to low, okay? And this will give you a level here, okay? 38.88. That doesn't have a price at the moment, but at the end of the day, this is also going to be a support from around here. So it's a bit tricky. If the weekly keeps pushing down, then you understand we're going towards that 1992 and that 47 level, 1983 on the weekly. All right. And that's that. But until this thing really breaks, we won't know. So 2 options here. two options, either going up long or selling at the highs here. Okay, and this weekly is a good sell-off here, right on the weekly pivot. So going back up to sell down is not a bad idea. As you can see, the structure here has been broken. All right, if I do this. Okay, we have a structural break, market closing below. We should go above this, okay, because this is where the stops are. So the market should push up, okay, and then sell off here. All right. If in the US session, it keeps pushing up, don't stand in front of it, because the minute it breaks above that 45, you don't want to stand in front of it. Okay, so that 2023, if it breaks above it, don't stand in front of it trying to be a seller if it breaks the daily PST level. Okay, let's take a look at SP 500. This is SP 500. Now remember, yesterday I gave you price levels. This is an Astro hour right on the price. If you sold, you should have been okay. Remember, I said the market should either stall here, okay, or continue towards closing. It's done that. All right, so it's all good. And remember, I said we should pull back to buy, but if it goes up first, you can sell. All right, so the market went up first, and then they sold it off. And that's the other Astro hour here. So what to do? Well, on the weekly, as you can see, let's just see if I can scale fix this a little bit. On the weekly, as you can see, this is where we're at, okay? So the market has room to come down to this level, which is 73, and then we've got this one, 71. So this we already know, right? 49.90, 49.66. We already know that one. 49.90 is there, okay? So we should pull into the weekly pivot is what I'm thinking. On the daily, look, it's done those targets. If we pull up, we can sell down into 61, and that's 4975, which is going to be there. All right, so let's say 4975 there. All right, so it has a bit of room to pull down into. If you want to sell again, 75, 76 is a good spot, which for today is 5,032 and 43. 5,043 and 32 is there. All right, there's a bit of a gap here. So if the market taps back up here, it's okay to sell. You'll kind of fill that in and push down if they want to do so. If we go down first, then in the Astro hour, you can sell, you can buy to go up. The weekly pivot is also okay to do that. And that should be in the afternoon. All right, that should be in the afternoon. On the platform, it's going to be about 13:35. So just look at your Astro hours. This is pre-session New York, and then you got the opening. Okay, 3:30 on the platform, which is 4:35 there for us. Okay, 4:35 my time. So you got to calculate to New York, and also this 1822 is okay. 1820 to 1830. This zone here. If it turns here, it should go towards 10 to 10:15 and possibly to 11:35, like I said on the post as well. Okay. Let's take a look at euro dollar. Now, euro dollar daily, this is it. As you can see, this is the support level. If you bought yesterday the lows, you should have been okay. This zone I marked in yesterday, but the Astro hour here was a bit tricky. If you got stopped out when you went in here, you would have had a tight stop loss. You would have just had a small loss here. Okay, nothing we can do about that. Sometimes that does happen. Okay, so what to do now? I'm going to get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. Okay, that's the weekly. Now you see this is where the target of the weekly is. So I'm not very, very keen on selling here, but you do also understand that we want to come back down. So this is like an A, B, C. We should push lower, okay? And we should come into this zone. We should come there at least. All right, so this should be our zone. So the market's got room to come down. So I don't mind selling, okay, which is what I've been telling you from all the way down there. But I don't want to be selling at targets here. Now, this is also nice. It's an impulse wave and it's making a flag formation. So on the other hand, it's like, telling me, maybe we're going to break it down. So should I sell? It's also not a bad idea. So we're a bit in a dilemma, okay? If it does keep pushing down, where to get in? As you can see, this is a bit too far out, but what can you do? 1.0830. So 1.0830 is one place to sell off, which I marked in yesterday. All right, that's how it is. If the market is sticking around here still, because there's no real breakdown of structure here. Okay, so if I turn this into a 1 hour chart, okay, you can see it's a very weak trend up. Okay, so if we push up a little bit more, close a bit of gap here and here, as you can see, it's okay to sell, but I just don't want to be selling off where the market, came to a target on a weekly PST. It's just not cool. All right. Now the swing days, we still got enough time for the swing days. What you can do if you want, you can wait for the swing days to happen and then wait for the reversal on the swing days. That's also doable. If you want, if the market breaks above the 44 on the 1 hour chart, which is 0767, if the market kind of like breaks up, then on a pullback, if you want to go long at an Astro hour, that's also doable. Or if the market pulls back into this zone, okay, and then if you want to go long, you can. That's about 1.0750 40 zone there, from 40 to 50. So 0740 to 50 is down here. Right, so it's a little tricky because it's like going sideways, so I wouldn't really touch it, okay? But if you're really keen on trading it, buy the lower end, okay, and sell the upper end. You can also do this if you want. Let's do it, which is fair enough. Let's put that up there. Okay, so we can do a bit of our technical analysis skills, okay? As you can see, these are Astro hours here, so buying from here to go up is also okay with a tight stop loss. 15-minute chart. Let's push it in. Okay, it's an Astro hour here to push up. It's not bad. If it breaks up on the pullback, you can also go long. We are in Astro hours right now as well, as you can see. Okay, so the Astro hours are for this morning, 7:55. It's 6:55 on the platform, which is right there. Okay. And that's it. So the market going up is not a surprise also. Okay. There you go. If you know your technical analysis, you should be on top of your stuff. And that's how it is on this one. Let's take a look at what? Let's take a look at Dow Jones, NASDAQ, and Bitcoin. All right, so here is NASDAQ. So here we are, nice fall off yesterday. Okay, this is it. So if you marked yourselves, and I said we should push back into this zone. That's what the market did. If you sold at the Astro hours, you should have been okay. And that's the target. So that's done. What to do now is the question. Now, as you can see, if I turn this up a little bit, we're already underneath here, so the market may carry on selling. And your first level of sell would be that 69, which is 17,922. So 17,922 is about here. Okay, so this is also possible retracement up there, and then selling off is okay. There's a bit of a gap here. If I turn this into an hour chart, okay, let's see where we're at. So this is also not a bad place to go long, as you can see, because we're down here where the market picked up, okay, and it's an Astro hour. So even if you're just trading, you're going to go up to the daily pivot. You can trade with a tight stop loss, because what you can always do when you're using Astro trading is, your stop loss can just be really tight, because if the Astro hour is correct, it should push up. Okay. And then if it's wrong, it should, then it's going to come down if it's wrong, but you'll be out with a tight stop loss. So always using the PST at the lows with a nice little, move upwards at the Astro hours going in that direction is not a bad idea. But overall, this is 73, and that's 17,805, which is a good buy kiss. Oh, 17,805, which is a good buy kiss here. All right. So we still have a bit of room maybe to come there, because that's your weekly there. All right. So we'll have to check it out. If you want to sell, do it on the pull up in the Astro hours. Okay. This is a nice sharp fall here. There's a bit of a gap here. So if the market comes back into, let's do this, into this zone, this is also going to be a sell zone. Okay. This is the bar. Okay. So that's also doable. If you take a look at your daily, that's your first resistance. 77 is 18,366. 8, which is too far out. On the weekly, no real target except that one, which is LCL1. That's 18,405. That's far out. On the monthly, that's far out as well. Okay. Dow Jones. Okay, up move yesterday and then down. So that's a nice little impulse wave. Market going above and closing above that. So do we still have room to push up? Might have. On the monthly, we talked about 65, 39,016. It's there. So we could still do that. This zone is okay to sell because it's a monthly target zone. Okay. So if you want to push it upwards into there, it's okay to do so at Astro hours to go up. Bitcoin, this is the daily chart. Obviously, it's pushing into that zone. I said this is a zone you don't want to be a buyer in, but then we've got the PST breakout. And I did say if the PST breaks out, don't stand in front of it trying to sell it off. Okay. So yesterday, this was that zone there. Okay. Because we were right on the weekly yesterday, remember? Right there. It was 77, 48369. 48369 here. So once it broke out, that's it, game over. That's the target, and that was a target there as well. Why? Because on the monthly, so there's a gap there. Okay, so the market can still figure that out. But as you can see on the monthly, we're up here. Definitely not a buy spot for me anyway. Okay, and I don't like to buy when the price is at high levels where they sold off before. So this is really not my case. Now on the daily, because we broke higher, this is obviously not going to be that double bottom, that the double top that I said maybe can happen. Maybe it will happen to be a double top, and if it does, if it breaks down, we should end up here. So it hasn't done that at all, keeps pushing up, but for me, it's not a buy zone. I'm not buying where they sold off before. So the only time this could be bought is we're back in the 30s if you want to buy it and keep it. If you're day trading it, it's a different ball game. If you're a day trader, obviously no buying here. If you're a day trader as well, you need to wait for the market to come back into at least that 48 zone. And that's basically it. But I wouldn't be a buyer here, even day trading. Okay. So that's how it is. So it's your call. Wait for those levels if you want to sell it off. And that gap is also important there at 53,370. And on the weekly, LCL1 is 57. So if it goes above that anyway, that's just like far out. I'm just thinking, is this a teacup? We're going to have a teacup here. Market comes back, does a handle, and then if we go up, then it will just hit $100,000. And that's it. So, all right, we'll see how that pans out. Okay. Food for thought.